So very good afternoon. Welcome back to Les Sables d'Olonne, the hub, the HQ of the Vendée Globe, where all the action is coming from. This is our live show that we broadcast every day at 13:30 UTC. Well, a bit of a party last night, as you might imagine, for Johan Richomme. A big credit to him. He's up and at them this morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. We have him on the show in just a few minutes. He came in second, and then tonight, round about midnight probably, coming across the finish line will be Sébastien Simon, the homecoming of the local hero. We expect him to cross the line then. He will come into the channel perhaps around about 7:30, 8:30 tomorrow morning. So a big welcome expected for Sébastien Simon. Otherwise, as we said yesterday, there's low pressure for the next group. Let's call them the peloton. This is really quite threatening for them in the early part of next week. But meantime, probably this group coming in around about the 24th of January, so it's going to be quite a long week for them, so that's next Friday or Saturday. But in the meantime, two very busy days for them just now. Our Chinese skipper, Ying Kun Chu, came round to Cape Horn, a big deliverance for him last night, just before midnight. So my guest today is Ambrogio Beccaria, Class 40 ace, Italy's first ever winner of the Mini Transat. He has designs on the Vendée Globe, but he's joining us now. Ambrogio, how are you?
Hello, ciao Andy. Thank you very much. I'm very fine.
Good. We'll come back to you in a few minutes, but first, this tussle, this battle between Sam Goodchild and Jeremy Biou is getting towards the high-pressure system. They're 22 miles apart, and we spoke with Sam earlier on this morning.
It's home starting to feel quite close. It's kind of the first time in the whole Vendée, the race started to feel a bit long because I feel like there's a little bit of a reference in time now as to the finish next week. So yeah, trying to not overthink the finish and just keep like I've been sailing for the last couple of months, and yeah, obviously try and get through this low unscathed, which is it's just easier said than done. And then from Sunday time, I guess we've got a big depression coming in, which looks pretty nasty. It's got over 50 knots in it and over 8-9 meter waves. So yeah, it's not looking that straightforward, and yeah, trying to find the right balance of trying to get through that without losing too much time and distance, without breaking the boat, which we're all getting tired, is going to be a difficult one. But yeah, keeping a close eye on it. For now, we haven't really got a choice to make, so hopefully it will evolve into something a bit kinder or a bit nicer, or at least an option B, which is a little bit kinder. But yeah, wait and see.
And just behind Sam Goodchild, about 20-odd miles or so, is Paul Mea, and we caught up with Paul in Visio this morning.
I broke my bearing, upper bearing of the G2 of the. So unfortunately, I lost my forte, and after I tried to put the sail up again, but I broke the halyard. So I have no fractional halyard and no forte, so I have to sail slowly. So I have the G3 main on, and the foil 50%. But actually the boat is not too slow, so I'm pretty happy about that. And now I have to climb the mast to fix the new halyard and to be able to put my fractional sail and to stabilize the mast. The mast it will be better for the last days with the storm coming in a few days. But I don't care about the ranking actually now. I'm just focused to come back in the stab with faster as possible, but with in safe conditions.
So difficult situation for Paul Mea then. He has unable to put any hydraulic pressure on the forestay, but at the moment things are secure. It's going to really be a case of being careful all the way into Les Sables d'Olonne for him. I think we've got Giancarlo Pedotti online with us. Giancarlo, can you hear us? How are you?
Yeah, thank you very much. So I'm fine. And last night I cut the cold front, and now I'm sailing in the air of the high pressure of Santa Helena. And right now the wind is not very high, around 7-8 knots. And so the next step is to find a good door for cross the equator.
Giancarlo, how are you feeling at the moment? The race is starting to feel a little bit long, perhaps, or are you still enjoying it?
So finally, the race is the race, and we need to do with the condition that we have. I don't think if it's long or short. I try to do my best until the finish line, and then we'll see.
And you're coming into some wind soon. Do you see anything?
So right now we have less wind than the forecast. But you know, it's like this. In any case, I'm in a good position because now I'm sailing direction around 40 degrees. Donc, so and is in this side, and then I hope that the wind shifts gently in the right side, and I can go faster than now.
Giancarlo, fingers crossed for you in that respect. We have one of your compatriots with us, Ambrogio Beccaria, who wants to say hello in English.
Hi Ambrogio, how are you?
Ciao Gianca, grande, bellissimo. Very nice to hear from you from this very complicated Atlantic South Ocean. It seems very, very complicated. I love your strategy there. And you are more happy about, let's say, the gain that you had on the front boat, or you are more hungry because the boat from behind, they were able to go a little bit more north than you. What is your sensation now?
So my sensation, Ambrogio, is that if the wind is very light, of course that the boat with dagger boards are faster than me. Because, for example, right now I have my foil on, but so I just for don't have any drift because I'm not foiling at all. And I hope that if I have 13, 14 knots, that I can have one boat that will be faster than now. But in any case, I think that the race is long. We see that the accidents happen also if we are in Atlantic South. Just have a look about what's happened at Jean Le Cam, and it will be an important compromise, manage a tighter boat and find good strategy, good speed until the finish line.
Yeah, for sure. The race is still long, always long. This race never shorten. But it's who is more tired, you or the boat?
Good question, Ambrogio. Good question, very good question. So no, I think I'm focused a lot on the boat. I hope that the boat stays in one piece, and I'm happy. No, I think that me. So of course now I'm tired because I didn't sleep the last night. But in any case, for me it's good. For me, I don't have any trouble. I'm in big state of health. In a good state of health, sorry, and so I'm hope that just the boat will be fine until the finish. And of course, now we have the passage of the equator that will be another game open because I think that there will be not so.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for all the info you gave us. It's super nice to have some news directly from you. And yeah, I saw that there are some boats that they start to have some damage on the forestay, and so it means that it's something that I mean. So, but no one dismasted. So, what's the secret?
So finally, I think Ambrosio, it will be no secret. There are some mechanical piece, and I think that so the condition in the south was strong. The piece was tired, and some of them broken. That's all, I think.
Yeah.
In any case, I think that we'll see with an expertise when the boat will be arrived, and I think that we can have a more certainly conclusion.
Giancarlo, it's great to speak with
But
you.
yeah, so it means that you always sail with a J3 stay in order to be more secure?
Yes, of course, Ambrosio. I never put down the J, never, because finally, what's the problem? Just the drag, and then when you have to tack, that you lose a little bit. But you are safe to Donkey's Masted.
Giancarlo, it's great to speak with you. You're doing a fantastic job. We're all following you and looking forward to some more updates in the near future. Giancarlo, thank you so much.
No
All the
problem.
best.
Thank you, Ambrosio. And Ambrosio, build the boat fast. We are waiting for you.
There we go then, Giancarlo Padotti. Ambrogio, your thoughts on Giancarlo's race? It's not been easy for him, given his expectations going into this race.
Yeah, I mean, this race, it's unbelievable. Every time it seems that you have a ranking and then something happens and everything change. So, but yeah, I'm loving his strategy now because it seems very, very complicated. When they round Cape Horn, actually it was quite difficult to understand how to get fast as possible to the equator. And I love, at the end, I saw that a lot of boats that went more to Brazil, they were able to cross the cold front better than the boat more offshore. So I'm loving his strategy, even if it was not that clear to me at all. And yeah, I think he's a very good marathoner, no? I mean, when it's long and tough, he can do some very good stuff. So maybe he will get some boat in front in the next days.
Giancarlo, Ambrogio, you're watching this race very, very closely.
Yeah, but I mean, I did it also in 2020 because why? Well, it was COVID, so
Yeah.
I was not able to sail, and it was very nice to dream about the Southern Ocean. And then, yeah, I'm doing offshore sailing since 2017, since my first mini transat. So I'm starting to get old.
No,
And
not at all.
yeah, I'm really looking to do this race one day, and I feel ready, you know. So yeah, I hope I will be able to do the next edition.
We'll come back to you in just in a few seconds. But Skipper, you raced against in the Route de Rhum and ended up finishing second too. Was Johan Richomme in class 40, and of course he's just finished second in this Vendée Globe. And we caught up with Johan earlier on today. Like Charlie yesterday, he's got a big commitments, and so he's off to Paris as well to do the round of the media up there with the French media. And this is Johan earlier on today. Well, it's a great pleasure to have Johan Richomme with us, second place in the Vendée Globe, runner-up. Johan, how does that feel? How does it sound? Are you happy with second?
It sounds pretty great. Yeah. No, I would have signed up for that result before the start. Definitely, it's such a hard race. I can only be happy to finish second. Yeah.
You've been over 24 hours back on land. I don't imagine that you've enjoyed the home comforts. How's it been? Decompressing or coming back to reality?
I didn't see my dad all that much last night. We had a really nice party with all the team, the crew, my family, everyone that came around, even friends came from abroad to celebrate. So it was such a nice time.
Physically, how are you after your race? Compare it to the end of Figaro or the end of your two transatlantics back to back. How does it feel?
It feels pretty tight. Everything is kind of locked up. I've had the chance of having my osteopath come and do a few sessions with me, and he's never seen
There's some
me like
work
this.
to do.
There's some work to do, yeah. I already have a few appointments for next week.
Good for you. But you found the race physically tougher than you expected?
No, I don't think so. No, I was quite well prepared for it. It is a tough race, there's no doubt about that. We all knew. But I think I prepared myself well. I knew what to expect. And in the end, I think we had a very, very nice weather window at the front, especially after the Indian Ocean. I mean, I only took 2 reefs once in the race. The rest of the time was under 30 knots, under 25 knots. So it was a pretty easy ride, I think, compared to some of the other skippers on this race and other editions.
You and Charlie, though, are next level compared to the rest of the fleet. Give us an insight into how you operate at that level. How do you develop to be at that level?
Well, yeah, I said it yesterday. I don't see how you can come to that level without spending years on the Figaro circuit. This is exactly what we've been trained for. This is exactly the level that there is on the Solitaire du Figaro. A lot of the top 10 are really good skippers on that, on that race, and the difference between us is very tiny, and it's very hard to understand what makes a boat win or not, or gain a week or something on the others. The weather has a lot to do with it, but I think one thing for certain is you have to be mentally very, very strong, and the key point was the South Atlantic on the way down. It was a reach for over a week, I think, at very high speeds because we broke records one after the others, and it was mentally very, very tough. And you could see everyone just slowly, putting their foot off the gas a little bit and just losing on the front, and then losing so many miles, and then losing the right weather window, and then that was it. And for me, that was the key moment.
The Solitaire obviously important, but you and Charlie are both yacht designers. What does that bring in terms of the way you sail the boat, the way you understand the boats?
I think it brings a lot. I mean, I think you do have to understand exactly how these boats perform, not just the physical part of the boat, but the duo with the skipper. And that's, I mean, to me, I think it's no surprise that the 2 boats that have the most enclosed interior and the most comfort, and we worked on it a lot. I mean, we designed basically the boat around the human-machine relationship.
Which is different to before.
Which is different to before, where you would design the lightest thing, and comfort was came second, and then you just had to deal with it. And I think we've looked at the equation the other way, and looked at how we can have a really more comfortable ride, and that means pushing the boats harder because it's easier, basically.
In terms of design, where would you go next? Just a few little things.
A few little things. I mean,
I'm sure you have a big long list.
Well, not that much. You would be surprised. Yeah. No, it's a few key elements. No, I'm very happy with the boat I had. I'm a little bit afraid of making conclusions on this Vendée because I think it was quite easy at the front. I think if we had a hard Vendée in the south with a lot of storms, I think I would have won because I definitely had the best boat for the downwind heavy air, which we didn't get a lot of. And so I think it was really a Vendée Globe for his design. So I don't really know where exactly to look for more performance because I would be afraid to make the wrong conclusions.
Everyone's asking you about the big low in the Indian Ocean. Is that where the race was decided? But I assume that given the same information, the same experience, you'd make the same choice again. I mean, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, with the same experience, yes. I think it was, to me, it was too risky. I didn't have the knowledge and the experience in the south to be able to be at ease with the fact of going south of a low pressure like this. Because if the scenario had gone wrong, it would have gone very, very wrong. And I think Charlie said it, he was pretty stressed about having the slightest problem that would have slowed him down and put him in 70, 80 knots wind. I mean, I remember that one of the fishing boats next to the Kerguelen Islands measured 99 knots in that low pressure. So if you do get in 99 knots with one of those boats, I don't even know what it looks like. You're probably not going to come back. So it was a risky decision on their part.
The key was off Cabo Frio, though, was it? That was when Charlie got away.
Yeah.
Any regrets there? Is there anything you could have done there?
Yeah, of course, a little bit. That doesn't mean I think I would have won it anyway, but I would have given him a harder time. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the track, basically, he came into the front about 10 miles away from where I started and had a really different scenario to me. Did he manage it better? Maybe, probably, I don't know. It's very hard to know, but it's a very unstable area. And all I know is I came into it pretty tired, and I think that was not really what I needed. I needed to be very sharp and focused, and I wasn't.
You and Charlie have raced against each other for more than 10 years. Charlie said after he finished, he said there was a point when he started sailing like Johan, too much like Johan, not enough Charlie. How would you characterize the way that you both sail?
I think it's very close in style, for sure. I mean, we have. I know we don't make many mistakes on the routing and the choice of the routes and the analysis of the weather. But we have different style of boats, and that means that I know when he's going to push hard, and in reverse.
You knew when he had damage, didn't you? Just down to. You
Sorry?
knew when he had damage, didn't you? When he had problems, Charlie.
When he had problems?
Yeah.
I read a lot of the social media sometimes, and the people want to think that we have a lot of problems that slow us down. I didn't get any that slowed me down. I know he did. First with his sail, and then he had to repair his hull a little bit. And he took a bit of risk sometimes, to try and make the break on me. But I think he came close to breaking his boat.
Give us an insight into what your comms were like with him.
Oh, not that much. I think we talked about 3 times.
Actually, physically talked.
Physically talked. The night I called him the night before the finish just to congratulate him. Yeah. And then
But otherwise, it was WhatsApp.
Yeah, a little bit, but just a tiny bit, because he answers yes or no.
Yes
that's
or
all,
no.
That's all he does.
Binary.
Yeah, binary answers.
Complete. So, otherwise, where are you going next? What's your next ambition, short term in sailing?
To my bed. They understand English. No. I am going to welcome Seb tomorrow morning, because I think that's going to be something exceptional, because
He's had an exceptional
he's the
race,
kid of the
hasn't he?
town. Huh? And after that, I'm going to train to Paris for 3 days, doing a lot of media, obviously. And then I'll be home middle of next week, trying to get some rest. And then maybe off skiing for a few weeks.
Just talk to us a little bit about the friendship with Charlie. I mean, you were both in England at the same time. When did you first meet?
Yeah, we met in Southampton because I was running a Tour de France à la voile project.
And he came to you and said, can I get a place?
Yeah, and he showed up. So, yeah, because you know the story is he signed up for the wrong school, so he was in the other one. And
Or you signed up for the wrong school?
no, I didn't. And yeah, so he came up to us. I think I can't remember the details, and did a little bit of a tour voile. Then he went on to do a bit of mini and stuff. So we kind of lost sight a few times, but we definitely met up again on the Figaro circuit from about 2011. And basically have been following each other's footsteps since then.
How's he developed in recent years? I mean, people are saying, and he's saying he's developed a lot in the last year.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think he was, I'm not sure I'm going to find the right words to describe this, but he was very hard on himself with his results. I mean, he's very results-driven, that's for sure. But when he was losing or, finishing second or something,
that hurt.
Yeah, that hurt a lot, and it would hurt for months, I think. And I think that's where he's grown. And I even heard him say, yeah, it's only a game. But it is only a game, exactly. So, you have to enjoy it, and you have to take it like this, and you have to be relaxed, and you have to distance yourself from the result sometimes, because otherwise it's too much.
Everybody wants to know if there'll be a clash of the Titans in 2028.
Well, he said he would come back, but I didn't say I would. Not yet. No, we'll see.
You loved it enough to do it again.
Yeah, I was quite surprised to like it that much, to be fair. I thought I would hate it a lot more.
But there were points that you hated.
Yeah, of course, yeah. No, but it is rough, it is tough. So, I mean, sometimes, yeah, you just don't want to be there. But in the end, no, it was fine. I mean, the result helped, being at the front. I think it was, if I was, 15th, or we just had a call with Damien. He's not living the Vendée Globe he would like to have. And that's mentally a tough one. And, so I've had a really good Vendée, so that helps to like it. And, we'll see. I'm only signed up until the end of this year.
Good stuff. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy your decompression, enjoy your time in the mountains. Ladies and gentlemen, Johan Richomme, thank you very much. So there we go. Johan Richo met earlier on in the day, and what a fine race he sailed, and how graciously and insightful he was there in that interview. Ambrogio, then your thoughts on Johan's race to start with. You know him quite well. You raced against him. Can you get to the same level?
But on IMOCA, I really don't know. But for now, absolutely no, because he has a wonderful boat, a wonderful team, and he proved that he can win a lot of races because he has already won 2 transatlantic with this boat. Did second in the Vendée Globe. It's quite outstanding. But I mean, I faced him twice, and once I won, and once I lose. So I think so. But the last time I lose, so the next maybe I will win.
Here, that's what I like to hear. But you have a similar philosophy. You're big into design. You're an engineer in your own right, and you have your own team round about you. What's your favourite boat that you've seen in the Vendée Globe? What's your design philosophy that you'd like to embrace for your race, hopefully?
Yeah, it's difficult not say that the boat that won was a wonderful boat. But I think that the boat of Johan is very, very nice. I like the idea of trying to reduce as much as possible the drag, and to more let's say relying more on the foils than on the hull. And then I love the cockpit of Johan. It's really, really nice because sometimes I feel that the cockpit of IMOCAs are almost too closed, so that you are you don't get the feeling from the waves, from the wind, from the clouds, and this I think can affect a lot your race. But his cockpit is genial because you are protected, so you can relax and be warm and comfortable. But then you have a very, very nice view about your sail, about how the boat is sailing actually, because if you are inside and you don't see nothing outside, it's difficult to trim a boat.
I find
then
that
the boat of the boat of Charlie, it's outstanding how it can accelerate, in medium and upwind. I mean, he shows some peak of speeds in the trade winds that are quite impressive.
I find that quite interesting because you're obviously from the same school digitally and design-wise, but feeling the boat and feeling the wind and seeing the clouds is so important to you.
Yeah, but I mean, I have been, I studied naval engineering, but then I never worked as an engineer, so I only sail to understand boat. And to me, at the end, it's a sport about sensation. Data and technology are for sure really, really important, but if you rely only on that, you lose half of your potential.
Very, very interesting. But you have a project underway trying to get to 2028, I believe.
Yeah, 2028. Yeah, I mean it's a goal. Huh? I hope it will be announced soon. Let's see. Huh? I'm working so hard. It's like it's not easier than a transatlantic race to create your dreamy project. Let's say.
And in general, Ambrogio, there's a lot of interest in Italy in your project and the Vendée Globe.
Yeah, because actually, so Giancarlo did the 2 last Vendée Globe, so for sure it helps a lot in Italy to know what is this race. And then I have been the first Italian to win the Mini Transat 2019, and after that, Italians were very, very good in the Mini Transat because we did the second with Alberto Riva and then win again with Luca Rosetti. And then I did second Route de Rome. I won the Jacques Vabre, and I won the Transat. So, like in the same year, we won the TGV and the Mini Transat, like in 1 or 2 weeks, one after the other. And it never came. So, yeah, obviously, it's like tennis in Italy now. And everybody is playing tennis because we have a number 1 guy. But so now we have very good sailors around Ocean Race. I think that we proved that we build a great boat. We can do great races, and so yeah, sponsors are coming.
And your Olympic sailors and your America's Cup sailors are not too bad either.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, no, yeah, I was talking only about ocean race sailing because Italy have a great story with America's Cup. Even if we never managed to win the cup, but we won 2 times the Louis Vuitton Cup. And yeah, in Italy was very follow this race. I mean, my parents never did nothing about sailing, and they don't know what a main or a GB is, but I remember when I was a kid, they were waking up in the night to see the America's Cup. So it always been something big in Italy, America's Cup. And then, yeah, Olympics, now again, we had our first gold medal with Ruggiero Tito and Caterina Banti in the last 2 editions of the Olympics. So yeah, it's like a gold era of the sailing in Italy, let's say.
Ambrogio, I'm looking forward to seeing you here in Les Sables for some finishes, but most of all, looking forward to seeing you on the start line in 2028. And so hopefully the Italians are coming. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. Thank you. See you soon.
Now, Sebastian Seymour, I say, is coming in later on this evening, probably around midnight, but we did have the chance to have a quick word with him earlier on today.
I spent a few days to just think about the finish line, so I'm looking forward to cross this line. It's going to be a really great moment, probably really emotional, I don't know. I want to see my family, and my sponsors, and my team. It's really important for me right now. I expected to cross the line between 10 and midnight today. I had 2 motivations. The first one was to finish the Vendée Globe, and the second one, the ultimate one, was to win one day the Vendée Globe. So after this 3rd place, I hope so, I not finish. I have only one goal for 2028, is to prepare a new project to win the Vendée Globe. That is my goal for today.
So the situation, starting off with Seb Simon, well, it's relatively straightforward for him. He'll come down the Brittany coast, increasingly coming a little bit more offshore, making 1 tack, and then we should see him this evening crossing the finish line. But looking at the main group, it's pretty complicated for them over indeed the next 5 or 6 days. They have this high pressure ridge, first of all, to come through, and then up here to their northwest, we have this big low pressure system coming in. We're seeing 40, 50 knots in the gusts. The big problem for them is the size of the seas, probably 7 or 8 meters. So it's a big question for them. These boats are tired, and it's a question of being conservative and making sure they get into the finish. So the option is generally to try and sail a little bit further to the east to avoid the low pressure as much as possible. Just watching here, we have Charal, Jeremy Biu, we have Sam Goodchild and Nico Lundven. So we're seeing a little bit of compression as this low comes through here. It's very south for an Atlantic low this time of the year, coming almost down to the Azores. But this is quite a tough situation coming in and staying to the south of the low probably as much as possible. But a time to be conservative really for this group. Now then, for the group in the down here, where Roman Attanasio here certainly has made a nice break, but he still has to get out into the southeasterly trades, perhaps a little bit further out. Down here, Damien Sagan and Alan Rura further back now, but in high pressure. But the main thing for them, there's the gain for them, is they will be further out to the east and getting into the southeasterly trades earlier. Otherwise, good conditions just now for the boats in more inshore, but they're in a more a tighter angle generally. And again, they have to get offshore to get out into the southeasterly trades. So then, otherwise, quite complicated for this group here. Girek Soudet making a nice move out. Otherwise, the boats more to the west have got this high pressure zone with Violet Deronge down here and Seb Marseille going quite nicely out on the east, closest to the Brazilian coast. But that's the way things are playing for them. And then finally, for the group who are closer to Cape Horn, Ollie here now up against the exclusion zone, but generally in quite good conditions. The question is whether Jin Kun Chu will actually come to the east of the Falklands. There is an option to get to the west, perhaps. Quite strong breezes in there, so that's going to be one to watch. But congratulations to Jin Kun Chu getting around Cape Horn last night. Indeed, now a little bit of breaking news just coming in. This is embargoed till 3 o'clock. Is that Boris Herman has significant damage to his port foil on Militia Sea Explorer. He had a collision with an unidentified floating object, and that was at 2:31 this morning. The incident occurred approximately 900 miles off Brazil's northeast coast while sailing at 13.7 knots. The damage is quite severe, certainly beyond repair, and the team and Boris are assessing what the possibilities are. At the moment, Boris is determined to finish the race, but we will update that as we go ahead through the day. Otherwise, let's go into have a quick look at the ranking. But first of all, Kojiro Shiraishi, our Japanese skipper, has been struggling a little bit for wind. Now he cut his teeth in the trawlers away down in the Southern Ocean. That was Kojiro's first interest in being at sea, and this is one of the traditions that he learned from there.
風のないと風の吹かせる方法が実はあるんです。梅干しの種を海に投げると風が吹くと言われてます。はい、ということで梅干しの種を捨てて風を起こしたいと思います。梅干し持ってきてます。頼むよー。
Well, looking at the ranking, well, of course, Charlie Dallin, Johan Royschum home and hosed and enjoying life back on shore. But otherwise, Sebastian Simon coming in this evening, Jeremy Bayou leading Sam Goodchild, but there's only 6 miles in it between the two, between 4th and 5th. Paul Mea is now about 70 or 80 miles behind Sam Goodchild with his technical problems with that stay, and who's saying today he's going to have to climb the mast. So things are looking quite solid for Sam Goodchild. Otherwise, Nico Lundvin is a good 90 odd miles behind Mea. Justine Metro in a nice position now in 8th, our Swiss skipper. Boris Herman having to go further out to the west in 10th position just now, over 130 miles behind Thomas Rion in terms of distance to finish. Sam Davis in 13th, Isabel Josk in 15th. Otherwise, no big changes in the ranking, down to Giancarlo Padotti and Alan Rura in 20th. Conrad Coleman up to 21st, increasingly putting pressure on the group in front. He's closed up very nicely towards Tongila Turkey and Benjamin Ferry, who are the top 2 daggerboard boats at the moment. Otherwise, further down, John LeCam now down in 22nd, so Conrad has passed him. And I say the Crazy Kiwi is in good shape. Otherwise, we have Kojiro Shiraishi in 27th, and further down, Oliver here round Cape Horn and coming up the exclusion zone in 29th, Jin Kun Chu round Cape Horn in 31st, and Denny Vienberg still has that pleasure to come in 34th place. So that is the ranking, unfortunately running out of time as usual. Always up against it. We could go on all afternoon, but the guys back in the regie want to get going. But anyway, they say that's all we have. Our finish live tonight. Coming into the finish line will be with Seb Simon. Should be around about midnight, so it'll be a fairly short live. But then tomorrow morning, round about 8, we'll be on live for the triumphant return of the homecoming hero, Sebastian Simon, probably around about 8 o'clock. So that's the lives. We'll be back again at the same time tomorrow for our Vendée Globe live show. In the meantime, Yannick Besthaven has left Ushuaia and is heading back to Les Sables d'Olonne and enjoying the passage. See you tomorrow.
C'est beau! Ouais! C'est pour ça qu'on est en mer! Profite, profite!